moving on to the big story that has exploded and caused ripples all across the country. The Karnataka government has ordered a high-level probe into the alleged misuse of protocol privileges at the Bengaluru airport by Kannada actor Ranya Rao and the possible involvement of her stepfather, DGP rank senior IPS officer K. Ramachandra Rao in the gold smuggling case. In the order, the state government has appointed Additional Chief Secretary Gaurav Gupta to investigate the alleged protocol violations. It also ordered a CID probe into the alleged lapses and dereliction of duty of the police officers at the Kempegowda International Airport in Bengaluru. Now, Rana was arrested at Kempegowda International Airport, Bengaluru on 3rd of March after the DRI officials found her in possession of 14.2 kgs of gold bars worth 12.5 crores upon her arrival from Dubai. In fact, we are getting to know, as per the latest developments, a bail hearing for Ranya Rao is now underway at the Special Court for Economic Offences, where counsel for Ranya Rao has submitted to the court that there were procedural lapses in Ranya's arrest proceedings, and since it's not a heinous crime and the accused involved is a woman, she deserves a conditional bail in this case. Joining me on the telecast right now is my colleague Belly Thomas. Belly, what's the latest update in the court proceedings that are taking place?
Megha, the bail petition of Ranya Rao is being heard by the Special Court of Economic Offences in Bengaluru, and as we speak, the counter arguments by the counsel of DRI is happening. In the morning, it was Ranya Rao's counsel Kiran Gawali, who argued on her behalf that there were indeed procedural lapses in her arrest proceedings at the Kempegowda International Airport, showing evidence to the court. The counsel for Ranya Rao said that there were 3 people mentioned in the arrest report, but there was only Ranya who was in custody of the DRI officials. So there were indeed, and she was also produced before the judicial magistrate more than 24 hours after her apprehension in the court, is what was argued. There again, there was the counsel for Ranya said that since it was not a heinous crime and the smuggling of gold would attract 7 years of imprisonment if convicted, this doesn't fall into a category of heinous crime, and since that she was also a woman, she deserves, or she is entitled for a conditional bail, and that the court granted is what the arguments or the counsel for Ranya Rao argued with the court. And as we speak, the counter arguments are happening with the counsel of DRI, saying that she had crossed the immigration and she had taken the green channel.
Okay, all right. So those are proceedings taking place, bail hearing in the court, in the Special Court of Economic Offences right now, arguments being put forth by Ranya's counsel. Stay on with me. Belly, we are getting to know that the DRI officials have intensified the probe into Ranya Rao's gold smuggling case. The latest suspect Bitcoin transactions involving her brother Rushabh are under this scanner. So what is this involvement that the DRI officials at this time are probing involving her brother?
Megha, the DRI officials were probing into the travel history of Ranya Rao, and they had found from the forensic extracts from her phone and her laptop that she was indeed doing this smuggling, not for the first time but previous times also. There was also a travel history that was picked up when the DRI officials were probing into the case. The last November and December, she had declared to the Dubai authorities that she was traveling to Geneva, but she didn't travel to Geneva, but she came to India. So this has raised suspicion that she has purchased gold there, and there is no condition for how much of gold can be taken to Geneva, and she dropped that plan to head to Geneva and came to India.
Okay, all right. So all those suspicions at this point of time pointing to what suspicious activities was Ranya up to. Stay on with me. I have with me right now Sanjay Sahai. Sanjay Sahai, so what entails a heinous crime, and what are the arguments on the basis of which Ranya's counsel is now demanding that she be granted bail?
Not able to understand what Ranya's counsel understands by heinous crime. It is one of the most heinous crimes which we are talking about, which is primarily doing international gold smuggling, as it seems now on behalf of some international syndicate or in a very well-oiled machine, which she has perfected in last couple of years. Now that heinous crime argument does not stand good, and with regards to bail we are talking about, then as we talk about bail, I think there are lots of things which are still in the very nascent stage. That being the case, she is just in judicial custody, she is not in police custody or DRI custody, so they are not in a position to keep interrogating her on a regular basis. While she remains in judicial custody, the DRI will always have the liberty to go to the jail and interrogate her whenever with the court's permission. Now, what the things, the way it is tumbling out, I think there is lots of things which are there in Bangalore itself besides whatever has happened in Dubai and other international connections. So first we had this Atria Hotel owner's grandson, Tarun. So his relationship with Ranya Rao and his international travel and all the dealings which has happened in last couple of years, that needs to be investigated upon in a very serious manner. And I think precisely for that reason the court has given 5 days of DRI custody for Tarun. While Ranya Rao got only 3 days of custody, Tarun has got 5 days of custody. So my presumption is that there is a huge amount of electronic evidence in his phone and his laptop computers, and lots of things have to be reconciled and validated upon as we move further. It was also told that whenever she is put forth with something which is controversial or which is coming for the first time or which adds to the investigation of the case, then she becomes tight-lipped and she comes with the argument of mental harassment and things of that nature. So
Okay.
that part of the connect is not coming. And now finally, we have the Bitcoin connection. Whether it is there, it is not there, but there's a big Bitcoin crime or Bitcoin
No, but absolutely, because Bitcoin trading is unregulated. It's not monitored. It is not easy to actually track the black money. So very easy for Ranya and her accomplices to whitewash the black money she has been earning with the gold smuggling, put it into Bitcoin, further increase it into large quantities, and that seems to be the modus operandi. Stay on with me, sir. Joining me also on the telecast is Mukesh Meena, but before I come to you, there is more developments. BRI officials have learned that Rushabh, the brother of Ranya Rao, was in touch with the notorious international hacker Sri Krishna alias Sriki, who is an accused in the Bitcoin scam, who is currently being probed by the SIT. It's becoming this is becoming murkier as these updates come in, and Mr. Meena, how do you view now the DRI officials learning that this conspiracy, this scam, this racket has been going on for years together, but there is this Bitcoin angle, and it is an international hacker who is an accused in a Bitcoin scam. He is also part of this racket, part of this smuggling syndicate, and he is also being probed by the SIT in previous cases.
Now, after seeing an interrogation investigation, the things have become complicated, and the complications are being exposed by the investigating agencies. And these are really serious matters, that they are involved in very serious crime. So it depends on investigating agency how they conclude and how they interrogate them and reach to conclusion. Now, how they correlate their involvement, whether they are involved in this, they are not involved in this, it depends on investigation and put up evidence against them. So it needs to be like interrogate, like they have taken 5-day custody for Tarun. They should interrogate properly. Likewise, those whose names are coming, I think it is high time that they should interrogate immediately. They should not delay, because delay will lead to destruction of evidence. So it needs to be investigated thoroughly. Who is involved? Who is not involved? What is the chain of sequence? And really, the argument which has been done by DRI should sustain, because if she is granted bail, then there are chances the evidences may be destructed. So, bail for some time, she should remain in custody, so that she should not have exposure or interaction with other persons. But I don't know. It is a judicial process. We can't comment on this. What magistrate will take decision, that we can't predict. But certainly, defense counsel will also put up their points, and the prosecution, they will also put up points. And now inquiry has also been ordered by the government of Karnataka. So that will also come out whether there was involvement of anybody.
Okay,
It was
all
just
right,
simply
all
providing
right.
protocol, or protocol officers are also involved in this. That also needs to be investigated.
Okay, stay
If
on
they
with
are
me. Yeah,
bringing
they are going to
just
be investigated, but is the whole truth going to come out, keeping in mind if there are influential politicians, leaders who are holding government posts, and bureaucrats who are influential and holding important posts, top posts, and whether this is going to be the scapegoats who will have to bear the brunt and take the blame and will be put behind bars and sentenced to sentences for the charges that have been imposed on them. Belly, we are getting to know more information that Karnataka CID officials are probing on the protocol services at the Bengaluru International Airport. They are set to summon the DGP, Police Housing Corporation, Ramachandra Rao, for questioning and proving his involvement, extending protocol service to Ranya. So now finally, after the DGP denied all involvement in the case, feigning ignorance of not knowing what his daughter was up to, he is also going to be probed.
Absolutely, Megha. The additional chief Gaurav Gupta has been tasked to oversee the CID inquiry that would initially start on a probe on the protocol services provided to Ranya at the Kempegowda International Airport, and it would submit a report in a time-bound manner. That is, within 1 week, it has to the ACS has to submit a report on what exactly led to this extension of protocol services to Ranya Rao. And having said that, the needle of suspicion first would go to Ranya's stepfather, who's a DGP rank officer with the Karnataka State Police, heading the Police Housing Corporation. And as we speak, any time from now, the CID officials would record the statement from Ramachandra Rao, who is the DGP of Housing Corporation, the Karnataka Police, and certainly they would establish as to who, upon whose direction was this particular protocol services was extended to Ranya on March 13th, while she disembarked from the Emirates flight from Dubai to Bengaluru, and when she was caught red-handed with 14 kilograms of gold. Megha.
Right, all right, that's information pouring in. We're getting to also know that Jatin Hukeri has obtained an interim order from the Karnataka High Court shielding him from arrest. The DRI officials have said that if they find incriminating evidence against Hukeri, they can further take him into custody for questioning or even arrest him. Shed more light into this entire case, where Hukeri has now been able to get himself released from the custody of the officials.
Mega Jatin Hukeri, though he had obtained an interim order from the Karnataka High Court that shields him from the arrest or verbal summons from the DRI. If the DRI officials find incriminating evidence that he is involved in this particular case, he would certainly be issued a notice or summons, and he would be called in for inquiry, and there will be a recording of statements, and also there are possibilities that he could be arrested if incriminating evidence are against him. But as of now, the Hukeri has been summoned by the DRI officials on 3 instances where he has stated that nothing was told to him, and even about his wife's arrest at the Kempegoda International Airport on March 3rd night, and subsequently they had gone to his home, and in front of Jatin Hukeri only they had conducted searches and raids at his house. At his house on Lavelle Road in Bengaluru, and after which, when he had moved to his parents' house in Kormangala, there too, the DRI officials had gone and picked him up for questioning at around 7:30 on one instance, and he was detained on a verbal summons that he cooperated with, and he was in detainment until 3 a.m. that morning, is what she said. He also had told the court that he was physically assaulted. He was coerced in giving certain statements that suited the needs of the investigation by the DRI officials. So, in order to get shield from all those aspects from the DRI officials, he had approached, his counsel had approached the Karnataka High Court, who have now given him a temporary
relief to Hukeri. Stay on with me. Let's take a look at another development. Tarun Raju remains in DRI custody for 5 days. Sources have revealed that at one point both suspects, Ranya and Raju, were confronted together as officials attempted to uncover the full extent of their involvement. So there you have it, information at this point of time. Sanjay Sahai, what do you make of a number of these threads that are being, at this point, the DRI, there's the SIT, they are all wanting to tie the threads, the loose ends. It is just the start of the investigation. Do you think it's going to take months together for DRI and perhaps even the involvement now of this potential CBI Enforcement Directorate to look into this crime, the syndicate, the well-oiled machinery? And will it lose steam if there are, if days turn into weeks and then they turn into months and perhaps even years?
Talking of a situation wherein it is an uncoordinated criminal investigation. As far as I can understand this current case, the criminal investigation and various types of other probes and inquiries are clearly calibrated to get to the root of the problem. The DRI sticks to its original task of probing the case as per the sections in the Customs Act and what other things which will come to light. So it is the main agency which has gone into the criminal investigation of this, and on a day-to-day basis, we are seeing good amount of progress being made. After they were able to lay their hands on electronic evidence, primarily mobile and computers, lots of things are coming out. There is a Dubai connection also which is coming out. There is a Malaysia connection coming out, and we have been seeing Tarun being held for 5 days for DRI interrogation. And now we are also hearing the name of infamous Bitcoin scamster by name Shriki, and he has been on the radar of the Karnataka police for 5 years. So my understanding is that the investigation going in the right direction. The CBI, what it's doing is to provide the all background support with regards to disproportionate threat, other types of handling, what is happening at 10 international airports in South India. So that sort of a thing the CBI is doing. What is being done by Additional Chief Secretary Gaurav Gupta is the misuse, or whichever way it has been handled, of the protocol services, and CID Karnataka is looking into whether father or stepfather of Ranya Rao, he misused, or there is other illicit connection with regards to connivance, collusion of the authorities here. So broadly, I see it is a very neat sort of a game plan on which it is moving, and slowly does not mean it will take weeks and months. My personal feeling is within a week or so, we will be able to reach some conclusive evidence with regards to the accused which are already there and also the linkages in Dubai and might be at the other places.
Right. Okay. All right. Now, let's actually put all the dots together. There are parallel interrogations, investigations taking place. Ranya right now in the court of law seeking bail. There have been others who have been able to get interim relief. There is a scamster, a Bitcoin scamster who has past history, is already being interrogated and investigated by the SIT. So let's take a look at the money trail. Let's take a look at the key players involved in this gold smuggling racket, and from Ranya Rao to her stepfather, who is a senior IPS officer in the Karnataka police, to her brother, to her husband, to this scamster, Bitcoin scamster. Here's a look at this entire gamut of accomplices, possible accomplices, potential accomplices to Ranya Rao and the syndicate that she has revolved herself in for the last couple of years at least. Now, here's Ranya Rao. She's a Kannada actress. We all know she was arrested for gold smuggling almost a week ago. And let's take a look. She has been arrested. She is right now a bail hearing in the Special Court of Economic Offences in Bengaluru that is being moved forward by her counsel, seeking bail for from the custody she is right now with the BRI. Here's a look at the chart where her father, her stepfather comes into the picture. Ramachandra Rao, he's being probed into the protocol violation, alleged protocol violation at the airport. His statement right now has been recorded by the DRI officials. Let's take a look at Jatin Hukeri, who is Ranya's husband. We have understood that he was allegedly traveling with Ranya to Dubai. The several 27 trips that she made to Dubai in the last 6 months, some of them she was being accompanied by her husband Hukeri, Jatin Hukeri. He is under probe right now. He at this point of time has gotten interim relief. He has been let go of the custody of the DRI officials. Let's take a look at Basav Raju, who's a constable. This man has also been zeroed down by the DRI officials. He was pressured to escort Ranya at the airport is the information we are getting. Let's take a look. His statement has been recorded. Let's take a look at K. Rushabh, who is the brother of Ranya Rao. His crypto links are now under scanner. He is under probe. He is being investigated by the DRI officials. Let's take a look at one more individual, and his name is missing. We do not know who this man is. There is a likelihood that he is the man who has orchestrated, strategized this complex operation, this smuggling racket, and the aim of the DRI officials is going to be to find out who this individual is through interrogations and investigations. Now, we are getting to know, the only information that we have is that this man has close proximity within the political circles at higher levels, at the topmost levels. There's one more individual that has also been probed, is Tarun K. Raju, who's the grandson of the owner of Atria Hotel, who allegedly aided the smuggling racket. Now, besides these culprits, besides these accomplices, the key players in this syndicate, there is also the name of a Bitcoin smuggler who has that has come into the fore. It's interesting to note that this Bitcoin smuggler has already has a past history of Bitcoin smuggling, and an SIT probe has been going on in a separate case, and his involvement is also coming to light now. In fact, like I said, as per sources, there is another influential person from Bengaluru who was in close proximity with in the political circles. He is under the lens of the DRI officials, who will be questioned if his involvement in the gold smuggling is established substantially. Mukesh Kumar Meena, I come to you at this stage. So does it look like, information as per sources, does it look like the DRI officials have been able to at least zero down on the potential kingpin, the linchpin to this entire scandal, this scam that has been perpetrated for years together? Names have not been revealed, but as per sources, there is a person that has been zeroed in.
Now, when they are interrogating, they are investigating the cases, things must have been made clear. Now, issue is in this particular case, it is a very clear-cut case. How the payment was made for gold and how they were disposed of, who took money, in whose accounts the money was obtained. So this is very clear case. Whether it was in cash, it was in accounts, only things, then money trail will be there. Money obtained by person, where it is distributed. Other aspect, like they are investigating, they are linking everybody. Regarding protocol violation, it is not a very serious issue until unless the protocol provided to escort to do illegal things. If the person who is escorting is directed that she is bringing gold and you should protect her, then only he is liable. Otherwise, he is not liable. Protocol, everybody, like at airport, many people get a protocol. This is not a very serious things. But if protocol officers or protocol persons are also involved in chain of smuggling, then it is a very serious.
Okay, this is explosive, and Belly, I'm going to come to you. The fact that there is an involvement of an influential person who moves around in political circles, he has been identified. This is what we are understanding from our sources. The names are not being revealed, but is a potential kingpin that has been identified by the DRI.
Absolutely, Megha. There is one particular person who is very influential in Karnataka politics. He is in close proximity with a lot of politicians across party lines, and this particular person is said to be involved when the questioning of Tarun Raj has been conducted by the DRI officials, and this is the DRI officials have learned so far about that, but evidence has to be established that this particular person's involvement is there. So the DRI officials will certainly work on that, and would as of now it looks like he could be the kingpin, as he is the person who has the kind of the profile to get a lot of money like this. Like the DRI is also probing into the angle of Bitcoin, like we earlier stated, with the involvement of the notorious international hacker Sri Krishna alias Shriki, who is being accused in the Bitcoin scandal probed by the SIT of the CID. So this is again an ongoing work, the work in progress by the DRI officials, that if evidence would be established against this particular influential person, then he can certainly be called as a kingpin in this entire racket, Megha, like as you said.
Okay, all right. Thank you for giving us all that information. Belly will keep a close eye on more developments as they pour in. On that note, I slip into a short break. Thanks for watching NewsX.